Why do people wash themselves without a rag or loofah? A lot of family and friends stay at my house. And usually I always give them a towel and rag to shower. But barely anyone uses the rag. Am I the outlier here? Yes. I know they most likely use their hands or just the bar of soap. But as a rag user, it seems like it would be harder. Why would you not use a rag? You know what I mean. Edit well from the comments. I'm now enlightened. The most common reasons I read are 1. Too abrasive. 2. Extra laundry. 3. Pointless hands are more sanitary. As a lifelong rag user, I agree the laundry can be annoying. But I'm so used to it at this point that I'll still use them. Thanks all for the feedback to my stupid question. Also, when I mention the word rag, I'm referring to a proper washcloth. The words are interchangeable in the region I'm from. I'm sorry for using the word rag, guys. Damn. I grew up using a rag. Maybe because we played outside all the time and came home covered in grass and or dirt. As an adult, I learned a lot of people don't use a rag. I think it's funny to see the use of the word rag and not washcloth, since we always called it a rag. I personally love washing with a rag. Maybe a culture thing? I guess to each their own. I use these African exfoliating nets, which are long mesh towels. They give the best scrubbing and lathering action, especially along the back. I hate the feeling of wet dead skin, and they wash up very well in the machine without carrying bacteria or falling apart. Like a loofah, I have a few that I can just swap out. When you have a lot of body hair, you are your own loofah. There's a lot of reasons. Not taught how is a common one. If you didn't learn it from your parents, you probably won't do it. I think for me it's more of a texture problem. Washcloths feel scratchy and painful. I do like a soft loofah but prefer my hands. Could also be a germophobia thing. Think of that bacteria building. You're going to use that more than once? Edit all y'all rolling in washcloth money. I own like 3 washcloths and 7 towels. I chose my priorities. Linens are expensive. In this economy? I just use my hands and a lot of soap unless I've done something to make me physically dirty. I shower every day and don't really even get sweaty, so I don't find a reason to scrub at my skin every day. Also, we don't use rags to wash our hands, so I don't think it necessarily makes someone any cleaner or dirtier to just use their hands. Ask your dermatologist about exfoliating every day. My husband is a doctor and tells me to wash my pits and bits well. Scrubbing anywhere else removes beneficial oils and microbiomes from your skin. It's a twice-a-month affair to exfoliate everywhere. Obviously, if you're covered in dirt or something, use a washcloth. Lol. I've never used one, so I don't see the need. I think it's a culture thing. As a black person, I never knew people didn't use washcloth until Dave Chappelle did a skit on it. Used one when I was a kid. Just seemed unnecessary. Can use my hands and the bar of soap directly. African net sponge all day, baby. I don't need a washcloth or a loofah to wash my hands. Why do I need it for the rest of my body? I can easily get very sudsy with my bar soap and my own 2 hands. Loofahs are gross, they're basically bacteria breeding grounds. I can wash a rag in washing machine after each use. Place liquid face body wash in palm of hand. Apply palm to skin. Begin rubbing skin until lather forms. Use hand to evenly distribute lather onto whole area. Repeat as needed. Rinse. It's like washing your hands but all over you. Very simple. Never needed to? My skin looks good. I have no bow issues. I'm clean. What does a rag do that my handful of soap can't? I wash myself with a rag on a stick. They're gross and notorious for gathering mold. Not washcloths maybe, but the puffs and loofahs. The cloths are not something I think much about unless I used a mask laying my face and now need to take it off. I also use bar soap, which I don't share with anyone, so I apply it with that anyway because it's efficient. I have a skin condition and have been advised by multiple dermatologists to not use washcloths. They harbor bacteria and can be irritating to skin. I'm in my 40s and have just used a big bar of soap on my body and shampoo in my hair since I was a kid. Unless there's some specific extra dirt or grime that a cloth would help with, I just don't see the point or the usefulness. Loofahs and rags harbor bacteria if a fresh one isn't used each time. To the point NFL cheerleaders' contracts have been known to include not being allowed to use them due to risk of inflamed follicles breakouts. Love a loofah, but I literally have washcloth phobia, if that wet thing even touches lol. I use a loofah at home but tend to use my hands when traveling. IDK the thought of using someone else's washcloth gives me the ick. Especially hotel washcloths. I'd rather just be a little less scrubbed for a few days than to share someone's wash rag. Even if it's a guest towel only, I don't like it. It also feels embarrassing to then leave them my used washcloth to clean. Sometimes I just pack my loofah in a Ziploc and bring it with me if I know I'll be gone for a week or longer. Or just buy a new one for the trip. Used loofahs until I lived in Finland, and when I asked my host family about them, nobody knew what it was. I then just got used to just lathering with my hands. Saves laundry, is cleaner, and wastes less soap. Emo. I've never looked back after THST. I put the soap on my hand. There is no need for a washcloth. Also, I would never use a washcloth more than once. Do use it on your face and privates too? I find washcloths unhygienic and unnecessary. I've got hands and they've worked just fine my entire life. I don't know why anyone needs a rag or a loofah. I've never washed with a rag unless I'm just like washing my face at the sink and not fully showering. But using a rag in the shower just seems like it's creating extra laundry. Why use a rag when you can just use your hands to spread soap around your body and scrub? Now I do have a loofah on a stick thing, but that is a special case to reach the parts of my back I can't reach with my hands. If I could wash everything with my hands, that's what I would do. Washcloth gang full score. If you're not covered in grime, there is no need to scour your skin. I used a loofah until about 2 months ago. My dumbass accidentally went autopilot and scrubbed over a new tattoo I'd got infected. Turns out they have tons of bacteria. And I didn't know that. Thinking about what all that bacteria did to me makes me want to vomit. I will never use a loofah again. My skin is super sensitive, so harsh abrasive scrubbing is a no. Also, I do not get especially dirty. If I ever do, I'll break out the washcloth as a one-time thing. Also, the germs I imagine in the washcloth. Then if I wash my puts, crotch or butt, I'm not using it on other parts or reusing, so lots of laundry. I use my hands once to get the surface dirt off, then again for squeaky clean. People who use and reuse washcloths, it icky me out thinking of them slathering a layer of old biofilm from the cloth all over their body. Lol. You shouldn't be using a wet washcloth multiple times. That's gross. They develop moldy damp germs and you're rubbing that on your body. I have eczema, so my skin is already basically peeling off in places I don't really want to irritate it more than showering already does. The question isn't why would you not use a rag? It's why would you? What's the point of it? I've never used one and have never heard a reason why I would want to. Real fucking curious about the gender breakdown on this one. I just use the bar of soap. More thorough and convenient.